All right, you little fifth graders. Moving on to inventors in social studies. During the turn of the century, there were a lot of inventions made. So we're going to talk about a lot of inventors. You're going to memorize these inventors and what they invented. First, we're going to talk about the Wright brothers. Who were the Wright brothers? In 1917, Orville and Wilbur Wright made the first powered flight in an airplane they had built themselves. Their flight lasted only 12 seconds, but it was the beginning of the aviation and space exploration industries. So the Wright brothers, they invented the airplane, the first airplane, and actually flew it. The effects of the airplane. Because of the invention of the airplane, we now have space exploration. We now have lots of air travel. And my favorite, we have fighter jets. There's a picture of Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright. There is the first Wright brothers plane. You can see it didn't get too far off the ground, but that's not the point. The point is it flew. It was the first machine that could fly. George Washington Carver. Who was George Washington Carver? He was an African-American scientist that created more than 300 products from peanuts and sweet potatoes. He also taught farmers to plant different crops each year to help put nutrients back in the soil. So there's two things that you need to remember about George Washington Carver. He created more than 300 products from peanuts and sweet potatoes, and he taught farmers how to plant different crops each year to help put nutrients back into soil. Carver created many things from peanuts. Of course, there was lots of food he created, like soup, cookies, candy, peanut butter, and coffee. There was animal feed, plastic, dye, which is a stain, paint or ink, paper, soap, axle grease, medicine, flour, fertilizer, metal polish, and rubber. And there was many, many, many others. Alexander Graham Bell. Who was Alexander Graham Bell? In 1875, Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. A telephone is a machine that can transmit human voice over wires. This invention allows communication all across the world very quickly. The first telephone lines between cities went up in 1877. By 1880, more than 34,000 miles of telephone wire connected thousands of American homes and businesses. So what you need to know about Alexander Graham Bell, he invented the telephone. Not the cell phone, the telephone. Now that is Alexander Graham Bell's telephone. Looks a lot different than what we have today. Thomas Edison. Who was Thomas Edison? He is best known for the invention of the first long-lasting light bulb and electrical generating system. This led to the system of electricity we enjoy today. So, he invented the long-lasting light bulb and the electrical generating system. He also invented the phonograph, a device that made it possible to record sound. Edison also developed the kinescope, a camera-like device that was the first successful form of motion picture. So it was like a recording camera. There's Thomas Edison's light bulb. He did not invent the light bulb. He invented a light bulb that could last longer. Thomas Edison's phonograph, kinescope. Last but not least, have a nice day. There you go, you little fifth graders. There are our inventors. Now, do you see this? You know why I have this? Because I'm the best. That's why.